So good evening. Apologies for the lateness. Lateness is greatness. Big up Matisse. But yeah, the reason Kenny was late was my fault because I thought I sent him the link and didn't. Jez is having mad dramas trying to get in, and I don't know where Chig is. So yeah, we're just gonna go with the flow. Here he is. Look at that, right on cue. Chig in the building, baby.
Hi, Chig.
What's up?
What are you saying, man? You good, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
How's the sweatbox of London?
Not too bad today. It's been a lot cooler, so I've been much happier. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I am one black man that does not like the heat.
Not British heat. British heat is great when you're on a beach and you live in somewhere like Southend on Sea. But when you live in a city, British heat is terrible.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. Kenny, what you saying, man? Obviously, you've got your badge on. You got your shorts on.
Yeah, well, definitely. But you know what's happened, right? Since we've last had a show on the eve of Euro 2020, it didn't come home. Spurs are finally letting Harry Kane go for £160 million. Jadon Sancho's got a Man United for £73 million. Smith Rowe signed a new contract. We can't win in Scotland, and basically they're selling tickets to the Arsenal Mind series where we're playing Spurs and Chelsea. Apart from that, we've only got one player, and that's Lokonga. Apart from that, nothing's changed at Arsenal except for more podcasts and more transfer shows, and more famous YouTubers going on the transfer show on Sky. Apart from that, same old.
Well, there we go. That's the end of the podcast, guys. Big up for everyone watching. Make sure you go and follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta and Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to Chig. Let me start with you, Kenny. Yeah, we have actually signed Nuno Tavares, and he did score on his official debut, not his first.
I forgot to say, I have documentary proof on how to pronounce Bruno Fernandes' name. I provided it. It's got check committee proof. Lee, whenever you're ready, play it on Twitter, on your Instagram. I wasn't lying. I wasn't trying to show off. We got Nuno Tavares, and he's going to play in the Premiership alongside Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, to be fair, when you said to me that's the right pronunciation for Bruno, I did laugh. But then you sent me conclusive evidence the other day in the group chat. I clicked on it, because I just woke up when you sent me it, and you said I was right, and I just looked at it and I thought, what's he going on about? Like Bruno Fernandes is picking his ultimate player or something. So I clicked on it, and what did he say? The opening line, Kenny.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bruno Fernandes.
So yes, Martin Tyler pronounces it wrong, which I'm kind of surprised by because Tyler normally goes and asks the player how to pronounce their name. And he obviously hasn't done that in this case. But yeah, you was spot on with the pronunciation.
Bring back Barry Davis. You always got the pronunciations right.
Do you know what I mean?
He was the only one who knew how to pronounce Solskjaer's name properly.
Exactly. But yeah, let's start with you, Kenny. Let's start with the hottest topic. Yeah, Smith Rowe. Obviously, that's in the title. New number 10. 21 next week he is. Signed a new contract, a long-term contract. I'm absolutely buzzing that he signed a new deal because I do rate him as a player. I think he's got a great future ahead. But me personally, I think that way too soon to be giving him that shirt number. And it seems very strange as well, considering that Odegaard was the number 10 essentially on the football pitch, and he got pushed out to the left forward position where he done all right, but off of the back of maybe 10, 12 good games, really good games, we've then given him the honour of Bergkamp's shirt because let's be real, it is Bergkamp's shirt. What have you made of that? Do you think, because I look at that, and I've said it on a transfer video, that to me, as soon as I see it, was we're not buying a number 10. Yeah, because we've never him.
The thing is, we've always spoken at length, both privately on the show, about the number 10 is the most overrated position in football because it doesn't exist no more. But in terms of us, doing business, there's still like noises coming out of the football club that that we are looking at some sort of creativity with that includes Smith Rowe. Obviously, we're tying him down because obviously you want to tie down your best young players. Obviously, Aston Villa saw a situation. Nothing in football's a secret. You know, he wasn't signed that. He hadn't signed a new contract. Aston Villa, why not? You know, because, you know, Aston Villa bought Ben Dia. Everyone talks about him being a creative player. And look what's happened. They were still trying to get another creative player in Smith Rowe. So, you know, it just shows you that teams that have ambition don't want to just think, right, we've got one creative player and that's it. You've got to have, you know, other good players. So I don't think that should be an issue in terms of him getting a shirt. You know, it's, you know, he's had a good season. You know, he's had good hopes. And personally, you know, it shows that the club are committed, because let's not talk about whether the manager's committed, because he might not be here anyway. But in terms of like, you know, getting Smith Rowe tied up, I'm very, very pleased by that. You know, towards the end of the season, he was, you know, showed how vital he is to us. He changes the pace, you know, and the tempo how we play. But you know, and you know, he's starting to score a few goals. So I'm very, very happy. But I'm not satisfied, because I want a lot more than Smith Rowe, and I still want, you know, we're talking about James Maddison, although the guy from Milan, you know, like the transfer guru says that's a non-starter. So he seems to be the right person. But saying that, great. What more? We got Tavares, you know, cover for left back. We still haven't got a right back. We still need to look at situations regarding, you know, an athlete. Although we bought Lukonga, you know, from Anderlecht, so that's great. Also, most importantly, I'm just feeling you looking like you're just about to eat a chili, and I'm going to say that. The reason why I'm going to say you look like you're going to be a chili, because I'm going to say two words to you, and Chig's going to take over. Tammy Abraham, Lee. Tammy Abraham. See, he's gone as red as a beetroot and red as a chili, innit? Hot.
Mate, do you know what it is? I am absolutely sweating it. It's 33 degrees here today, and there's not much breeze today. And like, I'm on the second floor, in this apartment, right? And it's wide open. Normally the breeze comes flying through when I have both patio doors. It's like a rectangle, like 90 degrees.
I only said two words.
There's no air today. I'm like Chris Brown, bruv. No air. And Jordan Sparks, bruv.
I just said two words. I only said two words. Tammy Abraham.
You're on the wind up. But yeah, Tammy Abraham, Jesus Christ. We'll come to him later. Tammy Welbeck. Yeah, like, man couldn't finish a you know what. But yeah, like,
neither could Werner at £73 million. Just remember that. And he was offside when he put the ball in there as well.
Well, yeah, I get that. We'll save that. We'll come to Tammy Abraham in a bit. Yeah, people are taking the mick out of the way you said Awar's name. It is actually Houssem Aouar. Yeah, it is pronounced like that. Kenny is the legend on pronunciations of foreign names.
I only like Spanish and Portuguese because I did Latin, so of course I'm going to know how to pronounce their names.
Very quickly, let's get this super chat from King Tony. Thank you, Kenny. Your thoughts on the new 100 cricket?
You know what? I must admit, the occasion was fantastic in terms of great. I still think it's Philistine-ish, you know, having YouTubers like Chris Hughes. What's he know about cricket? Then we got Vicky Hope. She could barely spell her name, rather than, you know, like I said, talk about my favourite sport, cricket. But if it brings fans like yourself and Chig to the game, I'm all for it, because the viewing figures for BBC and Sky was fantastic. But as cricket, it's a slogfest, and you know, it'll take a bit of getting used to. I still prefer Test cricket. I still prefer, you know, Ian Botham, Dennis Lilly, Viv Richards, Clive Lloyd, Curtly Ambrose, Joel Garner. They're they're the people that I'm all about. Yeah, Dave, if you want to be a legend of cricket, do well in the Tests.
There you go. The king has spoken. Let me come to you, Chig. Smith Rowe. A lot of people in the chat are saying it's big pressure on his shoulders. He's got to live up to not just Ozil at number 10, which didn't really go great for us. Let's be honest, it didn't live up to the hype. But anyone who knows Arsenal will know that the number 10 is Dennis Bergkamp's number. He is the number 10. There's never been another 10 and never will be one as good as him at Arsenal. What did you make of that? Do you just think that that's another PR exercise from the club to just mask over the fact that we're not going to go and do what's required in that position? Or do you think it's a good bit of business? We've signed up a good young talent. He's staying, and we've given him that responsibility and said, "Yo, you're our guy for the next 5 years"?
Bit both, to be honest. I think if you're going to do that with one of your own young prospects. So really invest in that prospect, put money into him, tell him I believe in you, put your arm around him. Here's a new contract, 5 years, £80,000 a week. We believe in you. This is your new number 10 shirt. You know, we ultimately are here for you because we believe that you are the kid that's going to kick on and do bits for us. So I don't have so much of an issue with it because I think if you're going to do that if there's any reason you're going to believe in someone, do it for someone that is your own, I guess. And he is one of us. He is, for all intents and purposes, an Arsenal fan, someone that's come through us, one of the few success stories from, as you would call it, fail end, and someone who's kicked on and done well. You know, I don't think he's done as well as people have made out. I do think people suck the dick of the situation a bit too much. I don't think he's Jack Grealish or anything, but I do think
he's the Croydon De Bruyne, mate.
But I do think he is. I do think he's a kid that's on the realization of what he's about to achieve. I think he's just at the cusp, or he's just a step behind where maybe Saka is at the moment, in a sense of, you know, he's just about realizing his potential and he's starting to produce. For me, his attribute has always been his off the ball movement. I think is very, very good. Actually, it's ironic because he's been given a number 10, but I actually think sometimes it's his on the ball stuff that I would like to see improve a little bit more. And I think, you know, I think there's no harm being given this new contract. I think the kid is a very, very good player. I can't wait to see what he does moving forward. My only concern is what you've now alluded to. Does that now mean no Maddison, no attacking midfielder? And if we've seen anything about Arsenal, we know the answer to this question. Probably means, there's not going to be a Maddison type of signing, which would be dangerous because I think a lot of the reason why Smith Rowe kicked on last season was because, and I've said this before and I say this again, people forget that Smith Rowe up until now has had a horrible injury record. Horrible.
Yeah.
Last year, for whatever reason, that never really happened. And therefore he was allowed to progress. He was allowed to proceed his development as a player. He was allowed to continue, his development as a player. Now we have to hope that he has another season like that. Not to mention, we've also lost, whatever you think about Odegaard, we've lost another forward-thinking player in Odegaard. So for Arsenal to say, oh, well, we're not going to add another player to this situation, we're going to ride it out and believe in Smith Rowe would be a dangerous option. I think people need to prepare themselves mentally for the fact that I don't think we're going to go and get a James Maddison. I just don't see it happening. Short of Leicester agreeing to some kind of loan deal, I don't see it happening. But I think maybe another attacking midfielder, sure. Why not? I could see that. And then, but yeah, I think all in all, this is a very long-winded way of saying this. Good news. I like the fact that we've gone this extra mile to commit to someone who I think is ultimately progressing.
Do you not think, like, because obviously I don't know what wages he's on. I can't imagine he'd be on stupid money, but like for me, I'm happy he's signed, and I don't want to put a negative on it because he is 20 years old. Like he's 21 next week. Yeah, but do you not think that, like, and this is just me, maybe you think differently, Chig, yeah? Do you not think that by telling that 20-year-old kid that you're now the number 10, that means that he has to start every week? Yeah, so now that's big pressure on him every week. And he don't really score many goals. Let's be real here. He doesn't really create much. And he was pushed out wide for Martin Odegaard. Yeah, and like we haven't really seen Smith Rowe at number 10 because he's been playing left forward. Yeah, and whilst he's been all right, number 10. Yeah, like, and people have said to me all week, since it was announced or leaked that he was number 10, oh, it's just a shirt number. It ain't just a shirt number. Yeah, it's not. It's a brand. Mesut Ozil had number 10 as a brand. Dennis Bergkamp is the GOAT number 10. Yeah, like Jadon Sancho's apparently wearing number 25. Yeah, best believe next summer when Cavani fucks off, he's number 7. Yeah, and if they had anything about him, they would have stripped him as 7 anyway, because it is part of the brand now. Yeah, and that's why I think Maddison wears number 10 at Leicester. As much as I'd love him, he ain't coming now. And if he does, is he happy to play second fiddle to Smith Rowe? Do you know what I'm saying? When he's more established in his career, and Smith Rowe's literally not even had a full season in this Arsenal team, and now he's been given that honour of that Bergkamp shirt. Yeah, do you not think that that's a massive, massive fucking potential error in the future? Like, I know I'm thinking of the negative side of it, but I'm thinking of big pressure, 20, not played a full season, not played in that position, really. And now we've got, there you go, you're number 10, mate.
I think we're being naive if you think that this is suddenly a negotiation tactic for 2021. I think these shirt number things have been discussions that have been going on forever with various different players. And I think we've always had to manage the situation. I think it's all of a sudden become a situation now because certain players like your Jadon Sancho's have numbers as brands now. Not all of a sudden, a shirt number is no more just a shirt number. It's a brand. Mesut Ozil 10 is a brand. And I think with Emil Smith Rowe, I don't think it's necessarily gone to that stage yet. But clearly, Arsenal were under pressure. Let's have it right. Aston Villa played a masterstroke. They played a masterstroke, and they were unlucky. They bidded for Emil Smith Rowe, and they tempted him. They tempted him to the point where even Emil Smith Rowe was like, "Bro, I'm taken aback I'm really flattered by this interest in Aston Villa," and that was when Arsenal needed to step up their game. Does it mean that now we're forced to start him week in, week out? Well, that's where you hope your manager has the nous to control that situation and to say, all right, we get it, you're now number 10, really control that situation, manage the ego a little bit, really kind of, according to Emil Smith Rowe's interview yesterday, everybody loves Mikel. So
let me stop you there. Yeah, let's be real, right? He's not going to say he's crap, is he? Yeah, let's be real.
Hey, but he doesn't have to say that. So
true, but also Bukayo Saka came out when he signed his new deal and thanked Unai Emery, not Mikel Arteta.
But listen, all I'm saying is it's clearly an indication that he has a decent relationship with Mikel Arteta, and we can all agree on that.
Oh, of course.
If that's the case, then it's for Mikel Arteta to be able to say, okay, cool. I get it. You've signed this new deal. You're number 10. You know I like you. It does not necessarily mean you're going to be playing week in, week out. No player should be guaranteed their spot until they prove it themselves. So that's what you would hope. The message that is being given to these youngsters. And this is my worry with Arteta, because he's shown the players he's fallen out with have all been youngsters.
Yep.
Does he have the nous, the ability to be able to manage a situation with a youngster whose ego might be getting a bit carried away with themselves? That's where I worry.
And that's the thing. You make a great point. Yeah, like that's the thing for me, is that nobody's guaranteed a starting place in this team. And I think that the problem I probably have is the fact that I look back on shirt numbers and think Saka's got number 7. That's Perez's number. Yeah, Ben White's probably going to end up with number 6. Yeah, unless somebody else. I don't think anyone else has got it, have they? I think he'll end up with number 6, and it's like that's Adam's number. Yeah, then you're going to give number 10. That's Bergkamp's number. You're giving that to a kid who's barely played any games. It's like, yes, it's great for the player, Yeah.
If it's the difference between him staying and him going, give him a damn number, bro.
Yeah, I disagree with that because do you know what? Yeah, he's played 4 months of football, and in that 4 months, he's had 10 good games. Yeah, so as much as he's a good talent,
he's on the
is he a
upward.
linchpin of this starting 11 every week? Is he that great that
I agree with you.
He's not that badly? I don't think
he's not crucial to the team. But if you're talking about giving a player encouragement and purpose to improve, then give him the number.
I agree. No, I agree with that. What I'm saying is, it's like nobody in this team really, maybe a couple of players max, are guaranteed to be starting most weeks, if not all weeks. Yeah, especially with no Europa League. Yeah, like Tierney, if he's fit, he starts every week. Yeah, I think that obviously goalkeeper, we got Leno. It's the only goalkeeper we got. So if he's still here, he's going to be starting every week. Yeah, so there's not many players that we go through that 11 so they're guaranteed. Partey maybe. Yeah, other than that, we're struggling because Laka's not guaranteed. Aubameyang might not be guaranteed. Yeah, and we're going to come on to him later. But Kenny, let me come back to you. Obviously, we haven't really done much transfer business. We have signed 2 youngsters, Nuno Tavares, is the right pronunciation, and Sambi Lokonga, 2 backup players that didn't make the Euros with their nationality or the national team, sorry. And then we're signing, if all reports are to be believed, the 5th or 6th choice England centre-back, Ben White, for 50 million quid. But we haven't literally sold anybody yet. Yeah, and we're less than 3 weeks till the season kicks off. In fact, I think it's 3 weeks today we play Brentford. Yeah. Are you worried that we're not going to do what's required to be ready and prepped for the first game of the season on that Friday night? Because we're not going
to be. We're not going to be, because I think what's happened is that Arsenal have always been known to exhaust every hour and every day of the transfer window available. So it's highly likely you are going to have players who are going to start games for a football club against Brentford and probably Chelsea, but not necessarily be at the club a few days later when the transfer window ends. And that's just factual because it's happened before. But saying that, one thing is, the talk. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot. People say there's negotiations, or maybe journalists are losing their logic. But one thing is, we do need players to go. The Xhaka thing is taking as longer than it should. I'm hearing stories that he'd be at the training camp, with Roma, but that hasn't occurred. He's still, registered as a player. So there's loads of things. Bellerin. Everyone seems to, have a consensus opinion that Bellerin wants to leave the football club, and the football club are willing to let him go. But he's joined pre-season training. I share your fears because, we have the biggest elephant in the room for a long time since Bellerin got injured under Unai Emery is that area. What's happening with that? We need to get a right back in. Everyone talks about Max Aarons. We stopped talking about Lamptey. So that's areas we need to look at. And then, it's one of those things where you are going to have a situation, but whatever happens, right, this isn't an excuse for Arteta because he's had enough experience to know that whatever you have at your disposal, you have to have a definite style of play, or how do I say, identify a way of playing, and you play to the strengths of what you've got and try and get results. No try and experiment. No bullshit now. He's had his play here.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, if the squad is the same as last year, and we wish it wasn't, then fine. Stop experimenting and putting square pegs around round holes. Play to their strengths, and let's see where it's going to get us. Because we know the team's at surgery, but none of this transition bullshit. Bear in mind Arteta and mind the get along gang, who put being a good fan before the health of the football club. That we finished 8th in the last 2 seasons, which means light years away from Champions League. To the extent we can only watch it on TV, and we now are only going to be able to watch the Europa League on TV. So let's remember this transition, a 5-year plan. You could rip it up and start again. So be preparedly for doing a transfer deadline show where it's going to be some outgoings and incomings, where probably we're going to have to play Brentford, Chelsea, Man City with
what we call a weakened squad, and then maybe afterwards, they might get placed, or we could get battered by Brentford, lose to Chelsea, get battered Man City, and do what we did in 2011, 2012 when we had these bad defeats. And guess what? We started panic buying.
Yeah. So, Mikel Arteta on deadline day.
Be prepared for that. Be prepared for that, because whatever happens right now is that the open goal is still open. The goalkeeper, it's a rush goalie situation. There's no goalkeeper. Money's to be spent. Get working. But if it means, having not a full squad by the end of the transfer window, then you're going to have to be prepared for that, Lee. You're really going to have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, but Kenny, let me ask you this, because the transfer window shut on the 1st of February, as far as I remember, So we've had the 1st of February to today, which is the 23rd of July. Yeah, we've had from the 1st of February to the 23rd of July. Forget the Euros. We had 4 players there, of which one sat on the bench for the whole tournament, in Leno, and is now swanning around Mykonos on holiday. Yeah, it's like you had a holiday for 3 weeks at the Euros, mate. Yeah, like maybe come back and learn how to catch a ball. Right?
Yeah, but it's negotiations, though, Lee. It's all about negotiations.
This is my point, though, Kenny. Yeah, right. So the players that we want to go and get, 2 of them that we've signed have not been in the Euros. Yeah, Ben White was at the Euros. He's now in Ibiza. So that's not officially announced. We know that's done. It's going to happen. Yeah, right. Granit Xhaka to Roma. That's been done for 2 weeks. Again, that's a Ben White situation. He was at the Euros, blah, 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 But what has stopped us doing business with Newcastle to get rid of Joe Willock? What has stopped us doing business for Maitland-Niles or Reece Nelson?
You look at the situation, again, it's about money, isn't it? Because in terms of like Joe Willock as well, the consensus opinion is that if Emile Smith-Rowe has got a chance of progressing the team, then Joe would probably have to be sacrificed. So again, it's about negotiations, about whether Arsenal want him to go out and loan again or sell. And I think these are going to take time. We're hearing stories about Xhaka, but being definitely going to go. But there seems to be some sort of mileage between the valuations of the club valuation and what Rome are prepared to pay. And I think that's the situation with the players we are trying to get rid of. It's very easy to get these players to come, some of these players to come to the club, because some of them, let's face it, were never ever good enough to play for the football club. But getting them out is a different kettle of fish, because we're playing them Premiership wages, and that is
my point is, sorry to cut in. My point is, right, Joe Willock went to Newcastle. He weren't at the Euros. He smashed it in equal Shearer's record. Newcastle want to sign him. Yes, they're not flush with money, but he ain't part of Arteta's plans, hence why he loaned him. He ain't going to be part of his plans going forward this season. How has that deal, not been done?
Money. It's the money. It's money. Arsenal's valuation. It's a valuation, and I think that's what it is. Arsenal value, probably value Willock a lot higher than what Newcastle can afford to play or prepare to play, and that is the situation why some of these outgoings and incomings are going to take ages. You know what I mean?
But that's what winds me up. Let me come to Chig on this. Big up Jez as well. He finally got in the building. He's had bad dramas.
Absolute nightmare that was. Bloody hell.
He's been trying for ages.
About an hour since I got the link.
You're in now, mate. You're in. But Chig, let me come to you. Yeah, like I just said to Kenny, we've signed 2 players that are backups essentially, that didn't make their Euros teams, like their nations, and we're signing the 5th or 6th choice England centre back, for 50 million quid. Who, let's be real, not one single person when we done watch-alongs last season touted Ben White as a possible future Arsenal player. Nobody wanted him. Everyone was banging on about Lewis Dunk. Yeah. I do think he's a good player, but I feel like we've overpaid for him. Yeah, that's by the by. Let's hope he smashes it. Yeah. But are you surprised by the lack of activity going out? And then the ones that we have sent out, William Saliba and Matteo Guendouzi. Like, for me, I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, well, you've loaned both of them, but Willock, Reece, Bellerin, Xhaka, there's other players in that squad like Maitland-Niles, Kolasinac. There's players in that squad that if you add up all the money, Lacazette's into the last year of his contract, you add up all that money, that could potentially bring in 100 million quid if we sold 6 of them. Yeah, and then that goes and buys a Maddison, that goes and buys maybe another midfielder, a Houssem Aouar. Yeah, and you still have a little bit of change left potentially to put towards maybe a striker or another winger if Willian leaves. What have you made of the lack of business outgoing?
I must admit, I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I know where your head is at. I'm not as concerned as you at this stage, for the simple reason that we've just had a Euros. The market is not particularly flush. You're not seeing lots and lots of teams buying. And like Kenny Ken says, yeah, all right, granted, we want Newcastle to buy. At the end of the day, if they're not meeting our valuation, I'd rather us hold on to it until they meet it. You know, for all intents and purposes, people are talking about the fact that I can't believe we're letting Granit Xhaka go for 17.5 million. And, you know, a lot of the reason that we do that is that we've been guilty in the past of underselling players, underselling our players and overpaying for crap. And granted, like you've alluded to at the start of this, I think we've overpaid certainly for Ben White. If it's 50 million as reported, listen, the player's good. He's not 50 million good though. But we've got to do what we've got to do. Having said that, I think these things are going to take time. You're going to have to. There's going to be a week whereby we're going to let go of 4 or 5 players at once. There'll be a week where it'll be like this, where fuck all happens. You know, and I think at the end of the day, Arsenal are Arsenal. I will say this, to be fair to them, you know, they have focused on signing 2 players. Then they've also focused on the extension of Emil Smith-Rowe. These are 3 important things that they would have been focused on this summer. Now it's about kicking on. I want to see what they continue to do. And if, as you say, the Ben White thing has been done as well, that's 4 things they've done whilst there's been a Euros that's been carrying on. So I'm not too concerned. I can see where you're going because we've seen this from Arsenal. It's panic stations last minute. So I'm certainly not going to have a go at you for being worried because we've seen this bullshit play out before. But I just going by what I'm looking at in the moment, I'm still waiting for it to play out fully. Let's see where we go in 2 weeks' time. Let's see where we're at.
See, the only reason like you said about 4 things that we've done, yeah, 3 of them things weren't at the Euros. So Edu could have done the Smith-Rowe deal, no drama.
But we don't know that, do we? We assume that we don't know when he negotiated what or where or when things finished.
No, of course, yeah, we're not flies on the wall. We're not privy to that, but the Euros, I don't think would have hindered that happening because Smith-Rowe weren't at it. Yeah, and the same with Lokonga and Tavares. Like neither of them made their Euro squads, so it's like, and they're relatively cheap deals. Lokonga looks a really good player, by the way. Like I'm proper happy with that. Tavares, we'll wait and see. If Tierney's fit all season, he'll largely play, but he looked all right the other day. But the Ben White deal, like, I feel like we've had our pants down with that. I really do. And it's like, you know, a lot of our fans are giving Edu credit. I'm not saying you are. Like, obviously, you said you see how it pans out. But I feel like our fans are giving Edu credit because we've got rid of Matteo Guendouzi. We've got rid of Saliba. We've got rid of Mavropanos. There's 3 things. Add that to the 4 incomings. Yeah, including Smith-Rowe's deal. Yeah, that's now 7 things you could say Edu's done. And like, you know, I think, well, if any team went and bid 52 million quid for Ben White, then they'll get the deal.
I think, to be honest with you, the Ben White deal is so intriguing for so many reasons because you think to yourself, did Edu just basically say to Arteta, if you had to have one player like on this earth right now to improve his team, who would it be and why? And he came out with Ben White. You know, that's the only thing I can think of because like it is so left field. Nobody saw it coming for this price. But listen, I wish the kid all the best. Listen, for all intents and purposes, as confused as we all are, I don't think there's a single true Arsenal fan that doesn't hope that this kid doesn't go on and smash it. Because I think we can all see his attributes. He does have that type of David Luiz type of confidence to him, which is clearly why he's been brought into the team.
Yeah, do you know what, though? Stuck in my head is him getting sat down twice in 3 seconds from Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
Like, literally, man went ice skating, got up, and then went ice skating again, and Rashford scored. And this is Rashford. We're not talking about a proper elite baller. We're talking
But
Rashford.
coincidentally, I remember him a couple of times having Aubameyang in his pocket. So
yeah, but listen, fucking Johnny Evans has caught Aubameyang up and done that, man. Like, let's be real. Like, you know, we've had some proper shocking ballers, but no, I get it. I do get it, but it's just like, you know, it's so frustrating when you look at other clubs like Leicester, for example. Leicester have gone and done really good business really early with 3 good signings, and then we're sat here with a backup left back. Cool. Well, why ain't Kolasinac left then? Yeah. Then we've got a backup midfielder that will probably end up being our main midfielder. But why is El Neni still here? Why is Joe Willock still here? Why is Maitland-Niles still here? Right. But Jez, let me come on to you, mate. Well,
by the way, I noticed that also the chat room also used this Rashford example, right?
Yeah.
If that's the one example all of you guys can pick out, Ben Wright will be okay. If that's the one example,
he's got Becky B next to him instead of Tariq Lamptey, mate. Let's not forget that. But Jez, I know I don't know whether you've been listening, like while you've been faffing around trying to get in. I know you've had mad dramas trying to get in, but what have you made of, very quickly, Smith Rowe being given number 10, and then obviously what we were talking about with the lack of outgoings?
Yeah, I think giving Smith Rowe the 10's okay, personally. I like the player. I think he's got a big future, personally. Lack of outgoings, it just amazes me. I just don't see why we can't get rid of these players. Bellend, I think, is a problem. I don't think anybody wants him. I can see why, personally. We don't want him, so why would any decent club want him? Kolasinac still here, you know. I mean, that El Neni. How, you know, where do we stop? It's just typical Arsenal again, isn't it? You know, this Ben White signing. Yeah, I think he's a good player, but for that amount of money, really, you know, I think we've been done up the arse again, personally. And this seems to be the case with Arsenal nowadays, that we get done by teams on our transfers. We bring these players in, we give them big money, they hang around, we then can't get rid of them because they turn out to be a flop. I'm not saying Ben White will be, of course, but it just bangs on every year. It's a train that goes on, it goes on, and we just do the same stuff every season. And it in my view, it's just down to simply poor management. We have nobody that can negotiate, in my book. I don't think Edu can. We just go on and on in ever decreasing circles is my phrase on this. We just hang ourselves up every season, and they try and big it up. Oh, Ben White's coming in, you know, this, that, and the other, and everything. Why isn't Saliba here? He spent 30 million on the kid, and he's played 45 minutes. What is that? Well, you know, so please, somebody tell me the business sense behind that, because I would love to know. I really would love to know. And then we get linked to the worst goalkeeper last season.
He is the Harry Maguire of goalkeepers. He's been relegated 3 times in 4 seasons.
Yeah, brilliant. Let's bring him in.
He's conceded over 120 goals in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Couldn't catch COVID. Like, the guy is clueless. He's just a camera saver like Leno.
But why are we linked to him? Where does this come from? Or is this just pure rubbish coming from the media? I mean, would we really want to buy him? when we had a Brighton goalkeeper on loan who we could have got for free.
Yeah.
Where is the logistics? Where is the sense in all this? It just amazes me. It really does. I don't think there's another club in Europe like Arsenal, really. You know, we go around, we scratch our heads and we think, oh, well, we need him. And, we can't get rid of him because he's on too much money, but we'll get this bloke in. Yeah, okay, we'll have him. He's absolute rubbish, but yeah, we'll get him in because that'll appease the fans. You know, it's absolute bullshit.
And that's the thing, right? I said this earlier on when I was on with Rants, yeah, that who was it that sat there? What panel of people was it that sat there and looked at Onana for 7 mil? Yeah, even though he's on a suspension, yeah, until whenever it is, February, I think, November, whatever. Yeah, Sam Johnston, Matt Ryan, and then Ramsdale, and decided, oh, yeah, we'll go for the most expensive one, who's also the worst one, because the other 3 were either free or 10 million or below. Yeah, Matt Ryan. If Leno's going to leave, let's say he wants to leave and all the reports are true, then you bring Matt Ryan in and go and sign Onana for 7 million. You put Matt Ryan as number 1 until Onana's off his ban. Yeah. If Leno stays, you could have gone and got Matt Ryan as a competent number 2. He was all right. Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't want to do that, you go and get Sam Johnston as number 2. Yeah. Again, another decent youngish goalkeeper that's coming up through the ranks, only 10 million quid and he'd learn. And then eventually it'd be number 1. We're going for a guy who can't catch a cold.
I will say that the goalkeeper situation is another one that sounds real funny. Like, what's actually going on? Does Leno want to leave? Because we assume that we as kind of YouTubers and kind of know that we're in the know that he wants to play in Europe and that's why he wants to leave. But nothing's been confirmed to us. All of a sudden, all we see is us bidding for Ramsdale for 30 million. So it doesn't make sense. If you're not in the know, you're wondering what's going on. Why are we bidding 30 million for a number 2 that looks like he can star in Emmerdale Farm? Do you know what I mean?
As long as you don't piss off Kane, mate, because Kane's a bad boy in Emmerdale. Do you know what I mean? Don't mess with the fucking Kane.
I knew you were a fan. I knew you were.
He's the ultras, mate. He's the ultras in Emmerdale, isn't he?
He is. He's the bad boy of the village. But no, I agree. And like, listen, the feed that's being bandied about is 38 million that their owners said that they want. Yeah, we've bid 32 and it's been rejected. I think we bid 30 or 28 or something last week. That's rejected. Apparently, this is only what you see in the media. Yeah, if we pay 38 million for this geezer, yeah. Like, seriously, I'm sorry. That'll be the final nail in this manager's coffin. You've let a geezer go for 16 to Villa for a year later to go and buy an absolute donkey in goal, yeah, for nearly 3 times that. Yeah.
But then I also don't want to hear that we can't afford shit. Because you can't be telling me that you're prepared to spend 50 million on flipping Ben White, then 38 million on Aaron Ramsdale, but then when an actual quality player comes up, you tell me, oh, well, I know we're 10 million short, but we can't quite afford it. I don't want to hear that.
Exactly. And not only that, yeah, like, I want to come on to Kenny, yeah, because we're linked with Tammy Abraham, and you triggered me earlier with that, yeah, right? Again, another one that is a loan with an obligation of 40 million, yeah? I've heard for months, years, that Arsenal was skint, yeah? We're in a minus 300 in the last 5 seasons on transfer money spent. Yeah, we're in the red, like we've spent 300 million more than we've actually brought back in, yeah, which I think is more than Chelsea have spent, which is mad. It's definitely more than Liverpool, and I think it's more than Tottenham as well. I think only Man United and Man City have probably outspent us, yeah, if you're going on net spend, yeah, right. But Tammy Abraham, there, we were told by all of these journalists back in the day, a couple of months ago, around Christmas time, January, February, when we were all going, why ain't Martinelli starting games? He's fit, he's on the bench. And then all the PR journalists that wanted their cookies and cream at the Emirates were saying that he's being converted to a striker. Yeah, since then he's only played as a winger. So we've got Martinelli as a striker, according to these journalists. We've got Eddie Nketiah. We've got Lacazette in the last year of his contract. We've got Balogun, who's now upgraded to the first team. And we've got Aubameyang. That's now 5 strikers. Why do we want Tammy Abraham?
Right. The biggest elephant in the room, right, is that...
Am I going to have steam coming out my ears here?
Yeah, the common denominator, right? Jez has mentioned Ramsdale. Chig has mentioned Ben White. And I've mentioned Tammy Abraham. What's the common denominator? I'll tell you one thing. England caps. That's why their valuation has gone up. Aaron Ramsdale, Euro 2020 squad. Probably has he made a start for England? If it was, it wasn't memorable. But that is what's putting the prices up. Ben White, you know, made the European squad, and that is what Arsenal got to deal with. Because at the end of the day, it's the situation we're in. We don't want to. We want players that we feel that have got experience in our league, and we feel that, you know, they'll slot in the team pretty quickly. I'm not saying those three will, because they're three players that we're completely suspicious of. So that is one of the reasons why, you know, you're talking about evaluations. You tell Tammy Abraham, look, the biggest elephant in the room is, right, whether we like it or not, there has to be life after Aubameyang and Lacazette. Like it or not. Another thing as well is that Martinelli plays in the Aubameyang position, where I feel he plays his best football. Eddie Nketiah is not good enough, so he's probably a player that we're going to look to get some capital from. And Balogun's first season, so he's first season. Do you want to put a situation where you're going to make someone who hasn't got that experience, all down to the manager's, how do I say, treating him like a child and keeping him, you know, from the action? Do you want to put all your eggs in one basket? The fact of the matter is that Arsenal need a top class centre forward if we're going to want to challenge for the league, challenge in Europe again, and get into Europe. Aubameyang and Lacazette ain't working. You know,
who is the guy? Who's the top class centre forward for you?
It's a top class centre forward is a player that should have got in the England squad. Had Gareth Southgate not been obsessed with flooding his squad with right backs. Watkins.
Watkins,
100% is that Ollie Watkins.
Yes.
That is who Arsenal football should be good playing. Stop messing around with saying, oh yeah, we're going to convert Martinelli into this and that because he scored because the best midfield in the world slipped and he went through unopposed and scored from the other end of the field. It wasn't the most skillful goal. The bloody best midfield in the world bloody slipped. And we're going, Martinelli, Martinelli, da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on, mate. Let's just stop messing around and talking about potential and forget. And let's remember where we are. You're right. And this is where the board have got an open goal. You've got money to spend. There's pots of money, all right? Pots of money, all right? And even if there wasn't pots of money, you take a risk because guess what? In order to get your pots of money, you have to be in Europe, preferably in the Champions League. And then you have to do it continuously. That way, you get the prize money from being in Europe, TV money and advertising money. We lost 300 million quid for not being in Europe in the Champions League. And then we're going to lose even more for not being in the Europa League. So let's spend to accumulate. That's what Arsenal need to do. We still need to set the forward. Aubameyang, all intents and purposes, had a poor season, and he's not going to get any better. Not going to get it better. Even if we change the style of play, everyone's talking about, Aubameyang's should be playing at centre forward because he scored 30 goals. He should be playing centre forward. There's better. Why not just get someone who's an orthodox centre forward? Why don't we just do that?
Big up to this guy, Kenny, yeah? Right. He says Martinelli scored 10 goals as a centre forward under Unai Emery, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Albeit against lower opposition, Europa League, League Cup.
That's a good squad.
Still got to do it. You're still a young kid, new league, new set.
What's the attributes of the centre forward? What's the attributes of the centre forward? Centre forward,
movement,
is movement,
composure,
link play, target man, play with your back to goal. Can you tell me? Now, if Martinelli could do that, then I'm all wrong and I take it all back. But seriously, he can't. Aubameyang can't even do that. You know what I mean? And,
this is where I disagree. Because I feel that if we set up a formation and a set of tactics, obviously you can't do it every week against every team. Yeah, it don't work unless you're Man City or Bayern Munich or whatever, or PSG, whatever. Yeah, right. But if we set up a formation and a structure in that midfield, and the formation, we could play Martinelli up front because do you know what? Martinelli has the ability to be our version of Suarez. Yeah, he's never be. He may never be as good as Suarez. Probably won't. What he has got is rawness, ability to dribble.
He's a street footballer. He's a street footballer. He's exactly.
But that's why I put him up front.
But if you're a day, if you put Martinelli in the same category as Alexis Sanchez, Luis Suarez, like I said, Suarez and Carlos Tevez, all four of them are street footballers who can play anywhere because that you can't coach what they can do. It's not coachable. Because
why are we trying to coach him then? Why are we trying to coach him into a striker? For me, he is a striker anyway.
Well, that's what the press are saying, and that's the situation what they're trying to do. But that's the problem with a lot of coaches. Arteta, they try to micromanage their players, and into what they're not doing, into what they're not good at, and what's not good for the team. Arteta needs to stop being a coach and be a manager. And remember, a manager is on the results business. Identify a way of playing, get the best of what you've got, and the results will follow. Just like David Moyes. No one on this panel generally believes that West Ham have got better players than Arsenal, but they've got better results.
They've got a better manager because they've got a better setup, a better structure in place.
Why is he a better manager? Because he did it. He kept it simple by playing to their strengths. Simple. Yeah. And Arteta should learn. He's had his play here. Start playing to the players' strengths. You may not get your wish list. Not every manager gets the players they want. Solskjaer wanted Sancho last year. Didn't happen. He carried on. Somehow managed to get second place. Now he's got his top players. Let's have a look. You know what I mean?
No. Listen, we'll agree to disagree on Martinelli and Aubameyang, But I will not sit here and just blag it, And I want to come to Chig on this because I think pretty much all of us here said if we got the right money for Aubameyang, bin him. Yeah. Like we all said that before we signed the new deal, didn't we? Yeah. Right. And everyone was like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, I can't believe it. You lot are useless. You're not real fans. You're fake." Well, guess what, Chig? I want to come to you. Mm-hmm. Is Aubameyang actually finished out? Because I'm not just going to take it off of the 3 misses that he should have scored, and he should have buried every single one of them against Rangers. I'm going to take it off of the last, since the cup final where he won it for us. Where he scooped turned Zuma and pinged it in with a winner. Since then, and he signed that contract, that guy has been absolutely dog shit. Let's not even dress it up. He has been shit. Shit, right? He's 31. I think he's 32 or just turned 31, maybe. Either way, It's not guaranteed a starting 11 spot up front, so then he gets shoved on the wing. He don't want to play on the wing. He's openly admitted in press conferences and interviews that, I'm just helping the team. He wants to play as a striker. He's never played left wing, really. He played 11 games for Dortmund out of 200 odd on the left wing, Right. When Unai Emery was our manager, he adopted the 4-4-2 pretty much, but he still put Aubameyang dropping in on that left, but gave him license to come in to that central area. With Arteta, he kind of keeps him stuck on that left wing. So I get it. That's why he's not scoring. But we had linked with Tammy Abraham. So according to The Athletic, 2 strikers have got to go to buy Tammy Abraham. Is Aubameyang one of them? Or is it Nketiah and Lacazette the obvious answers? While you do that, big up DVS for your donation. I need a piss. I will still be listening.
That's a 38-minute piss right there.
actually, Chin timed it, didn't you, mate?
For me, I feel like a lot of people are hoping that he had one season where he's not performed up to the standard required. Having watched a couple of those little preseason games against Rangers and Birmingham, I'm starting to worry it might be a bit more deeper than that. Maybe not necessarily due to commitment, just due to the fact that, I've always said with Aubameyang, what type of player is he if he doesn't have speed? I think this season we may start to find that out. Is he still cute? Can he still score different types of goals? Can he adapt himself? Can he? Because I don't think technically he's that good. I'll be honest. I think Lacazette technically is better. Technically, I think Lacazette understands the game better. I think technically Lacazette, even though I don't think he is as good of a finisher, I think can strike the ball a little bit better. I think technically, because I know people are going to pick apart what I say, from a technical perspective, if I had to trust the movement of one over the other, I trust Lacazette before I trust Aubameyang. But so the only thing I would say is, are we looking at a player who his pace has completely abandoned him? You know, and I think this season we'll find out. Certainly, the first 2 preseason games didn't give me any hope that we're going to see an Aubameyang that's going to give us more. What I find more telling is that this is the first summer I can remember where none of our centre forwards have been the focus. No one's really spoken about Lacazette other than should he leave the club. No one's really spoken about Aubameyang other than should he leave the club. That in itself probably tells you the story that they're not as integral to us as they used to be.
Well, it's their age. You got to look at it. You look at their age, and you've got to look at the output as well, and the fact that they've been valued individually. They probably have been valued money, probably one more than the other, but collectively, in terms of where the team's finished, it hasn't worked. They haven't got us to the Champions League. They've only won 1 FA Cup.
And this is the thing, like we are linked with Tammy Abraham, Chig, What does Tammy Abraham bring to Arsenal that Lacazette can't in the last year of his contract, Aubameyang can't when he's 31, and Martinelli, who smashed it under Unai Emery as a centre forward, albeit in lower competitions, although he did score in Premier League. What does Tammy Abraham bring for 40 million quid that them 3 particular players, forget Nketiah, forget Balogun, what about them 3 players? What is Tammy Abraham, if we sign him, going to bring any different to any of them 3? Because I don't see it, mate.
It's funny because I really don't rate Tammy Abraham, right? But I was speaking to my sister about this yesterday, right? And I said to her, in all honesty, I don't think he's really any worse than Aubameyang or Lacazette. He's younger at least. And at least
I'm out of here.
No, stay where you are.
He's younger at least. I feel like for me, to me, this is what I'm trying to say. This is why I feel like Arsenal as a team, because we haven't had that, we've not been able to rely on Lacazette and Aubameyang the way we used to last year. We weren't able to rely on them. So therefore, if you wanted to take a risk on a Tammy Abraham, I'm not saying you should. Believe me, I'm not saying you should. But I could understand the argument. I could definitely understand the argument. I personally don't rate Tammy Abraham anyway. So 40 million, 30 million, it wouldn't make a difference. I don't rate him anyway. But I don't think he's any more useful than an Aubameyang, to be honest.
You don't think like
right
because
now?
but
you asked me that question before you went to the toilet for a reason. Do you think honestly right now he's that more useless than an Aubameyang, than an old Aubameyang right now?
I genuinely think he's worse than Aubameyang.
Oh, I don't
He's
know.
basically a lanky Danny Welbeck.
I don't know.
Literally, like I just look at him and I think like your link-up play is not that great. You're 6'5", you can't header a ball. Lacazette's small in comparison.
What would you say his strengths are?
Headers.
What would you say his strengths are?
Aubameyang's movement in a penalty box is still elite. You will never lose that movement.
Okay.
Yes, he's declining massively, like real quick since he wanted to be a legend. He's declined real quick, But at the same time, he is being pushed out onto the left wing where he don't really want to play, and he's being told to kind of stay on the left wing rather than drift in like he used to under Unai Emery, which is where he won the Golden Boot, funny enough, and they scored, I think there's 73 goal contributions that season between the two of them, right? So I don't necessarily just blame Aubameyang, but Tammy Abraham, sorry, mate.
I would argue that Aubameyang's movement.
No way. I'd take Ollie Watkins. I'd take Ivan Toney over him. I'd take him over both of them, to be fair.
I would argue that Aubameyang's movement has declined badly last year. Badly. Badly.
We
got 2 duds, We got 2 duds. And don't get me wrong, I actually give Lacazette more credit because at least Lacazette still has some sort of wherewithal. He knows how to position himself still. Whereas with Aubameyang, honestly, I think he's going through the motions. This
100%.
season, man, we're really going to see what he's about this season. Because I don't know, I honestly don't know.
Well,
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should get please don't get it twisted. I don't rate Tammy Abraham. My man's Nigerian, and I'm telling you straight. I don't rate Tammy Abraham. Right? I don't rate Tammy Abraham. But you won't be putting a bet on him outscoring Ollie Watkins next season, then? No? Yeah, and I wouldn't put it against Aubameyang either, just in case you get any ideas. All right, I'm not saying that either. Honestly, I would rather, if it's a choice, abandon ship and just play Pepe up top.
I'd rather play Martinelli over everyone.
Like, if it's the choice, play Pepe up top.
I'd rather play Martinelli. A lot of people are agreeing with you in the chat. Big up to everyone watching. There's over 600. Make sure you smash the likes up. Follow Chig's channel. Link in the description. Make sure you follow KennyKen1972. Instagram and Twitter. Links down there. And make sure you follow collins.jez on Insta as well. Jez, let me come to you. Tammy Abraham, yeah? Do you agree with what Chig said, that he's probably better right now than a finished Aubameyang? Or are you like me and just think he's a lanky Danny Welbeck who couldn't finish a wank?
First of all, I totally endorse what Chig said about Aubameyang. I think his days are done, and last season he was absolute pony, and I think that this season we will see what's going to happen to him. With Aubameyang, I think I personally don't think he gets on with Arteta. He doesn't like being out on that left wing. He's the sort of player to me that likes to roam, have free will. Yes, he has great touch in the box, but he has lost some of his pace. I mean, I watched the highlights of that Glasgow Rangers game, frankly, and it was bloody shocking, to be fair. And I just can't see what he's bringing to the party anymore. Tammy Abraham, do I want him at Arsenal? No, I really don't. And since this has been bandied around, a couple of friends of mine who are avid Chelsea, they've said take him. They
same.
They said take him, but their suggestions are, and I'll put this to old Edu, take it if we got to take him on a loan with an option to buy. Let's see what he's like, because I've seen so much going around that he's an he's an Arsenal fan as a boy, and that by going to Arsenal he's going to be brilliant because it'll up his game and he'll be fantastic playing for Arsenal. Well, I'm sorry, I don't see it. Personally, I would rather I would go with you in this one. I'd rather see Martinelli up front, Pepe. Lacazette, well, I've never really thought much of Lacazette, to be fair, to be honest with you. I think he's a moody little shod. He either turns up on the day or he doesn't, and it's very much like, oh well, yeah, okay, got to play today, and I'll pop my boots on, I'll go have a run around, and then another day he can be, a great player. But my concerns are really with Aubameyang, because he was absolute crap last season. As I say, I only saw the highlights. I didn't watch the whole game. But some of those goals he had, the chance to score against Rangers, he should have slotted them. I mean, it was just bloody awful. Let's be fair. All
three of them.
Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I don't know. It seems to me that ever since he got the big deal, he got ozolitis. And it's where is all this? What has happened to him? And I honestly think it's behind the scenes as much as maybe his mindset is not what it was, and he's just maybe just doesn't like being put in the position that he gets put in with by Arteta. He certainly doesn't seem to get the free rein he got under Unai Emery. So is that a case that's causing a problem here? I don't know. But I'll be honest with you. If, I think his time's done, personally. I think we should have sold him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think all four of us, I know Chig's dropped out, but I know all four of us were ridiculed when we even dared suggest to get rid of Aubameyang. Yeah, when it was, is he signing? Isn't he signing? Is he signing? And then the whole facade of him signing with the egg timer, the mask, and Righty being wheeled out as the legend and all that crap. It was just it was all good fun if you like all of that sort of stuff. But let's be real here. Let's get serious. Let's actually act like a serious football club. Yeah. The guy's coming out saying he wants to be a legend of Arsenal Football Club. And ever since then, he's been absolutely shit. Yeah. Right. Now, I don't know whether that's because he's out on the left wing and he's hindered and he's hampered by the tactics of the club. Yeah. And the manager. I do think that plays a part in it. But at the same time, he just looks so disinterested. It's mad. Yeah, he really does. And you said about Lacazette, you can tell by his face on kickoff whether he's on it or not. The amount of times I've sat on watchalongs and said, 0 today, 0 out of 10 all day long. And then he drops a 0. Yeah, Aubameyang's the same. You can get to that point with Aubameyang now. If you look at him, you just think, you ain't up for it today, mate. Yeah, he's got no fight in him. And he hasn't had that since that little purple patch when Arteta first came in and then we won the cup. Albeit he did smash it from the day he landed, till then. But last season it was wow, you've actually just signed 300 and fucking whatever grand a week, and you are Ozil, and we're now stuck with you because nobody is going to buy you, mate. Yeah, your pace is gone. Johnny Evans catches you up. Yeah, Johnny Evans is my age. Yeah, he catches you up. You don't score. Yeah, your movement, I still think his movement's elite. But his movement doesn't matter if you can't finish your dinner. Yeah. And it's it makes no difference. For me personally, I would just say, fuck it. Yeah. Martinelli up front, because I think that kid wins headers. His movement's sick. He can dribble. He can shoot with both feet. And his work rate is ridiculous. He is like a mini Suarez. Yeah. And I love him to bits. I'd love to see him up front. And I don't think he's going to get many opportunities next season. And I do think he'll probably leave that summer next season. This time next year, I think he'll be gone. I think a bigger club are coming for him, or a better club will come in for him. And we'll take 35, 40 million quid and he'll be gone. And then we'll see how good he actually is. But listen, make sure you're smashing the likes up, everyone. Big up to everybody watching live. Still 600 odd watching. Make sure you also follow the vlog channel. It's pinned to the comment section of this video. More Lee Gunner. Go and check that out. And subscribe to that. We're heading to 5K. This channel's heading to 60K. The whole of the
news. Good stuff.
I know, it's going well, man. I can't believe it. The last week has just gone whoosh. It's gone mad. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But listen, I'm going to get your final thoughts, Kenny. We're obviously 3 weeks today until we play Brentford. I just want to ask a simple question. As it stands right now, with no more incomings other than maybe Ben White, and no more outgoings as it stands, it don't look like anyone's going other than maybe Xhaka. Where do you see us finishing next season?
Where we finished last season. And it's highly likely if we do get the players that we need, it probably could be the same situation, because if this manager's still going to experiment and he's still going to be here, then we're not going to finish where we should be. He is the biggest problem at the football club. He is wrong, all wrong for Arsenal. All wrong. And unless he gets a clearer style of play, forget it, mate. You're just going to see one good performance, 3 crap ones, then a couple of 3 good performances, then a few crap ones. Any manager that manages this team, and we're in a situation where our goal output is just so low. Forget it, mate. We're not doing nothing next season if he's still here. Sorry.
Yeah, sadly, I agree. Chig, where do you see us finishing this season as it stands right now, with Xhaka leaving, White coming in, and nothing else?
I'd love to be optimistic, but like Kenny kind of says, for me, it's all well and good giving a new manager the likes of £50 million, getting Ben White, giving a new manager, even if he wants to get Aaron Ramsdale, 30 million for Aaron Ramsdale. If you gave this to a new manager, great stuff. You're giving it to Mikel Arteta, who's guided us to dizzying heights of 8th and an FA Cup finish. So it's like there's nothing inspiring about it, That's the thing. That's the funny thing. If the mood would be completely different if this was Conte we were talking about, and even if Conte wanted to buy Aaron Ramsdale, right? And we were all sat here thinking, huh? But all right, even Conte wanted to buy Aaron Ramsdale, and Conte wanted to buy Ben White. There ain't many people that would be talking shit. You'd have a couple. But you won't have too many people talking shit because people have an open mind. The beauty of a new manager and a new perspective and a new thought process and new training methods and new everything with new players, it would bring such a fresh, new perspective. But when you've got this same tired Arteta, he's so tired. How can someone so young and inexperienced be so tired at the same time? He's so tired. The same guy who's bringing in young players but doesn't know how to deal with young players. It's the most backwards thinking. So when you think about it like that, to me personally, it's difficult to feel like we'll be above 7th. So I'm predicting 7th.
You make a great point as well, right? Because I see somebody put a comment in earlier, I pinned it, that Chelsea have made £48 million profit in this transfer window so far, selling players that have barely kicked a ball for their football club. Yeah. And that's what Chelsea do, because they've got a long conveyor belt of youth that are actually decent, that actual teams want to buy. Whereas our youth fail end for a reason. But yeah, Chelsea have made 48 million quid. They haven't signed anyone. And I've not seen a single Chelsea fan really stressing out because they've got a manager that's just won the Champions League going into a full season with that squad. Yeah. And they're looking to flog us, Tammy Abraham, for 40, which will eventually fund Erling Haaland, as we all know. And not a single Chelsea fan really is going mad. Whereas if we'd sat here, sold a few kids for 48 million and not brought anyone, we'd be having kittens.
Didn't they sell something for like 18 million the other day? That's not even kicked the ball.
Yeah, they sold some kid to Crystal Palace for 20 million quid. He's never played a first team game.
Fuck off.
Yeah. And we're selling Xhaka for less.
Meanwhile, we can't get that for our number 2 captain.
Bro, we're selling Xhaka for less. But this is the pool of Chelsea Football Club, mate. Yeah, and this is the negotiation team that they have with Marina. Like they've got a top manager, and this is the thing, right? I see there's a great Twitter account, yeah, right? True Gooner Opinions, I think he's called, yeah, right? He just speaks facts all day, yeah. And he sat there and he was like, the process should not be the process of a manager. It should not be about one particular person, yeah. The fact that we're sitting there lauding up the fact that we finished second from Christmas. Did you see Chelsea fans saying that? They won the Champions League, mate. Yeah. Lampard was telling everyone they couldn't win anything with that squad, and he won the Champions League and lost an FA Cup final. Yeah. Chelsea as a club, as a fan base, as the manager, the owner, and all the way through that club, they're all on the same page because they know, yeah, that it's not a 4-year plan. Do it now or get sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but mind you, the plan is dictated by a club, not by a manager.
But the plan is also dictated by the fans' mindset, and our fans have been sat there on a protest, 5,500 people outside the Emirates. Oh, Kroenke out. They're all now posting on Instagram their new shirts with Saka number 7. Yeah. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, make your mind up. You've all renewed your season tickets. You've all bought shirts. Even though the club have been paid for the shirts, they still get 5% in every penny of the number and name. Yeah. And if you really cared and really wanted Kroenke out, yeah, you would not buy that shirt full stop and not go again to watch that football team, because then when the shirts are up for renewal, only half of the amount of people have actually brought them from what normally buy them. Now, all of a sudden, that deal's 20 million quid, not 50 million a season. But like I said, it makes a good story at the time. It gets loads of views and clicks, makes a load of retweets. And then it's, oh, the new shirt's out. Oh, I've got Saka number 7. Yeah, it's just all a load of bollocks. And this is why I just laugh at it, because Chelsea fans do not fucking ramp. Yeah, they hounded Lampard out. Really, that's their fucking all-time top goal scorer. Can you imagine? Yeah, we've got Arteta, who was a panic buy on deadline day in 2011, and we're like, oh, give him a pre-season, give him the players. This is his fourth transfer window. Yeah, and name me 2 players that are fucking coming off of that transfer window that you thought, fuck me, they're amazing. Name 2, you can't.
Lee, we did it in 71, resting our laurels. You know, we're happy with what we had, and we're doing it in 2004. Talking about the Invincibles, I was on a show, and I'll say one thing. Our fans can buy as many merchandise as they want. That's not a problem. But if you don't, but that walking out ain't going to be. It's about demanding standards and making sure that the standards you demand at the club is high. Let's remember, the club worked for us. Arteta works for me. The Cronkies work for me. The players work for me. So I should be holding them to great standards. It's no good having arguments with Chelsea fans or Man City fans when they get 100 points and say, oh, our goal, our goal, what's yours? Fuck off. Excuse me, I'm swearing there because that's how angry I am. The situation, right? The situation.
You don't swear often either.
Why are we having a debate about whether Chelsea are the top club in this country, in London? We shouldn't be having a debate because if we're demanding more standards and continued on after the Invincibles and started ramping up the league, challenging Man United, winning, actually trying to win in Europe, then we wouldn't be having this debate. But we've allowed this to happen. We did this because we accepted Arsene Wenger's explanation that we're penny pinching because we've got to pay off the stadium, which is the biggest load of rubbish ever. We accepted the fact that when Arsene Wenger stands, we had to be grateful because of what he did before. We did that, and now we're doing the same for Arteta. We're the problem. The fans have got no.
100%.
The fans are the ones who take where the club going. If you're gonna have conversations where you're going to say, oh, yeah, respect this and Father Wenger, then sorry, mate, you're not putting the football club first. Step out of the way, move on, let people who want to put Arsenal first come first, be the spokesman of the club.
Did Chelsea fans put fucking Lampard first? No, they wanted to win titles. Yeah, and it's 15 years. I see Charles Watts put a tweet out the other day, yeah? And I'm going to come to Jez for his prediction in a second. I know you've been waiting patiently, mate. Yeah. And Charles Watts put a tweet out the other day. It might have been Chris Wheatley. Yeah, it was Chris Whitley. What's your best and worst moment? You sent me the link. Yeah, what's the best and worst moment of the 15-year anniversary of the Emirates? Yeah, I said the best moment was sacking Wenger. The worst was hiring Arteta. Yeah. Then Charles Watts put a tweet out about, what was the best atmosphere European? What was the best atmosphere for league? What was the best? Guess what, mate? Yeah. What was the best season? 07. Well, hang on. 07, 08, we didn't win the fucking league, mate. How's that the best season? Yeah. Our Shavin's goal against Barcelona, whoopie-doo, we got whooped in the next leg. Yeah, knocked out. Yeah. Oh, the atmosphere against Tottenham in 2018, whoopie, it's vibes and inshallah. Yeah. Then it's like, who was the best this and who was who gives a shit? Yeah. We moved to that stadium to compete with the best in the world when we were already competing with the best in the world when we smashed down Highbury. Yeah. And all that has happened in that 15 years since we have moved to this stadium is the ticket prices have gone through the roof. The global fan base has grown and grown and grown. Yeah. And this ain't a dig at the global fans. I'm now a global fan back in Spain. Yeah. The fact and reality is the majority, and it is the majority I see on Twitter and Insta and Facebook, the majority that don't happen to be lucky enough to get a ticket like you, Kenny, yeah, to go to a game, yeah, will always spit positive, toxic fucking shit because they feel closer to the club because they can't go to the club. Yeah, the amount of accounts I see that everything's rosy in the garden with Edu and Arteta. Every player's amazing. Yeah, I see the other day that when Smith Rowe signed, Aston Villa in the mud. Aston Villa in the mud, what? Because we've just given a 20-year-old a new contract for 5 years and given him number 10. Is that where we're fucking at? Yeah. Well, we're now mudding Aston Villa. Yeah, because we've signed a kid who's played for 4 months and given him the biggest number at the club. Yeah, the Bergkamp shirt off of 10 good games. And now, Aston Villa in the mud. Fucking, it's all a PR exercise with our fans. And that, sadly, is why we are a mess. If Chelsea were in North London, would this still be the same? I'm not convinced. And on that bombshell, let me get Chez's. I'm not angry. I'm just passionate. Yeah, which is why I like doing the other channel, because I don't have to talk about Arsenal. So make sure you're subscribed. It's pinned to the comments. But Jez, based on what we've done or not done, Ben White, let's assume he's coming, Xhaka leaving, assuming that. Where do you see us next season, mate?
I don't see any difference at all, Lee, from this season, past season. Let's get it right. All the time we have Arteta here, it's going to be a drama. I still don't get why he is still here. He's proven he's shit. Let's be honest. He's proven it. Yeah, he broke so many Arsenal records last season. I was losing to teams we hadn't lost to for years and years and years. He's kicked us out of Europe, first time in 25 years. Lost us the FA Cup against Southampton. I mean, you know, where does it have to end to get rid of this complete prick? Yeah, he is dragging this club down into the gutter, and I think he is such an arrogant bastard. And I do get angry and upset about it. He is such an arrogant bastard to the fans, and I think to the players, that I have absolutely no ambitions for next season at all. None at all. I think it's just going to be a bloody train crash again. In fact, this next season is going to be a fucking air crash. It's going to be that bad. I said, this guy is just an absolute donkey. And, you know, it's proven it when he's asked wanker players like bloody Xhaka to stay. The guy is, you know, I just cannot wait for the bloody day he walks out this club. And then why is it taking so long to get rid of him? God only knows. And that is another fundamental problem. This bloody football club, yeah, that we cannot get anything over the line. We have to drag it on, drag it on, drag it on. Just get on with it like any big club should. And I'm not going to predict us to be above 8th. I can't see it with him. And with some of the dross we still have in our club, as in the players, I just see absolutely no progress. I don't think Ben White will make any difference. It's just cancer throughout the bloody club, and it's time to move on. And if he hasn't gone by October, I'm going to talk about Arteta. If he hasn't gone by October, then it's an absolute joke. Because I tell you what, if we lose to Brentford in our opening game, that will say it all.
Oh dear!
And it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me.
Yeah, 1-0, Tony Tottenham.
Yeah, Ivan Toney, 1-0. Man scored on his first pre-season game the other day as well. 1-0 win.
Guys, it shouldn't have to be that way. Regardless of whether we've got players or not, the guy, just let the guys off the leash. Play to your strengths. Just win football matches. Be a manager. Don't be a coach. Just be a bloody manager and get results and save your job. You can't change it. At 8 o'clock in 3 weeks' time. That's a problem with too many of these young coaches. They want to, get tactics that are going to shock the world. Just win some fucking football matches. That's what he's got to do.
And that's the thing, right?
I just jump in and say, I totally agree with Kenny, Chig, and yourself, Lee. The biggest problem now is the Arsenal fan base. Because, back in the day, you didn't get this bullshit. And I wonder if social media is a major contributor to this. Because in my days of when I used to go to Highbury and everything, you didn't get all this bullshit. You didn't get all this. I never
seen it either when I was at Arsenal. I never saw this set. I sensed it. I never saw it.
No.
Settling for this rubbish. We accepted it because Liverpool like the top side. We didn't like it. We still went in our tries. And even when I was a kid, the attendances, you remember the attendances in the 80s, there were times where we were lucky to get 30,000 watching us. And if we got 48,000 at the Arsenal in the 80s, it was a treat. I.e., if Spurs came along, or if the opposition, were playing really good football, and then 54,000 want to turn up. I.e., Liverpool, and when they had Barnes, Beardsley, and Aldridge, we started getting big attendances to watch Liverpool play, not because to watch our crap. And that's the thing. fans stayed away because we weren't winning.
Totally agree, Kenny. Totally agree. And it just shows to me how Arsenal standards, I've been saying this for a long, long time, ever since I joined your channel, Lee. The standards of Arsenal Football Club and the standards of the Arsenal fan base that actually go to the games, and I respect all Arsenal fans, but the ones that go to the ground now, I have so little disregard for them. I mean, the last time I went to the Emirates, it was just, I thought, bloody embarrassing, to be honest. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say that.
The last time I went to Anfield, I think was Oxlade-Chamberlain's last game for Arsenal when he was playing right wing back. And there was a couple behind me, a couple of rows behind me. When the stadium's emptying out, there was 3,500 Arsenal fans all singing, you don't know what you're doing, or we're going to win the league. We're going to win the league, when we were like 4-0 down or whatever it was there. At the end of that game, there was two people, a couple, boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. The guy said to me, can you move out the way, please, mate? Because I want to take a picture. And he had a tripod set up with the camera and all that. I was like, fuck me. Like he's literally got the tripod and I was like, mate, we've just been absolutely slapped, right? And you want to take a picture of the stadium? Yeah. Go on Google Maps or Google fucking images. Yeah. Like, that's where we're at, mate. Sadly, it's sadly where we're at. And you know what? Yeah, that's exactly why we moved stadium, because the club knew that by moving to a stadium that wasn't Highbury, it wasn't a nice looking stadium to the eye, whereas the Emirates is a nice bowl. You can sell the fucking sizzle. Yeah, what can you sell at Arsenal apart from fucking stale Bovril? Yeah, like at Highbury. Yeah, you can go to the Emirates. It's now an experience and like dress it all up. And it's sad how it's gone, because the PR, not just of Arsenal, but Man United do exactly the same. Yeah, Man United are equally, if not a worse mess than Arsenal, because they're bigger than us. Yeah, and it's like Man United and Arsenal have gone through this stage of, we don't care about winning on the pitch. Yeah, we just want to sell all of our shit to fans globally.
But we basically have added internal gentrification, where 100%. we're able to sell £10 for a shitty chicken burger instead of selling it for like quarter the price to pay Mavis's wages. You know what I mean?
It's much worse. It's much worse. And I say this controversially. I think a lot of fans now go to football not to watch the game and don't want to win. They go for the memories of having an away trip where they meet their mates.
Yeah.
They're more interested in meeting their bloody mates and having a drink in a hole rather than going wanting their club to win. And the people who don't go are philosophical about our change. Well, and let's say we can't be what we say, we can't be entitled. Well, just because you don't want to go anymore, and because you're satisfied with being invincible, you're going to die happy because we won all that. Well, I'm sorry, I want to win. I want to win. I want
Kenny,
you've
been at games, Kenny. Yeah, you've been at games where it's a League Cup game. Chig, you've been at League Cup. I'm sure Jez has as well. Yeah, in the Emirates. Yeah, where it's a different crowd when it's a League Cup game, because the regulars, the season ticket holders, don't want to go to the League Cup game. Yeah, and you're North Bank. Yeah, like lower. Yeah, and normally you can stand. Right, the stewards are sweet. Yeah, but then when you go on a League Cup night, can you all sit down because Margaret and a 5-year-old can't see? Tell Margaret and a 5-year-old to fucking stand up then. Oh yeah, but lads, like, look, I know this. I know we're all cool, and normally on a Premier League game it's sweet, but look, I don't want any trouble. Like, she's asking for you to all sit down. It's not the fucking theatre, mate. Get up and sing. Yeah, and it's like, it just pisses me off. Like the amount of times that happens. Kenny, you've probably seen it on League Cup nights, mate. Yeah, when it's League Cup.
I don't do League Cup nights. I do.
Well, there you go.
I'm guilty.
Doncaster, Norwich, Eddie Nketiah's debut. The amount of times I got told to sit down was a fucking embarrassment.
Hey, I was at a League Cup game, a semi-final against Tottenham, right? And one guy, right? I was standing up because it's Spurs. He didn't come, right? He was like, oh, mate, can you sit down? He touched me on the shoulder. I said to him, what do you think happened then? What sort of look do you think I gave him? And what do you think I said to him? Exactly.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, like, I understand it's an all-seater stadium now, and that's how it's gone. I get it, and I understand the reasons behind it, yeah? But The stewards in the North Bank Lower are sweet. They're good as gold. Yeah, really nice guys. The same stewards every match day, pretty much. Yeah, but like the fans are obviously not the same fans from one game to the next. So yeah, sometimes you get, oh, so and so can't see. We'll tell them stand up then. Like, what's the issue? I don't get it, man. I genuinely don't get it. But unfortunately, that's how football's gone. It's saturated with new drops of merch every couple of weeks. Yeah,
can you imagine like the poshest
up there, Lee, is for my 60th back in May, my wife said, what would you like for a birthday present? And she bought me a few things. She said, I'll get you the home and away shirt. Now, I can honestly say to you, since 1967, this is the first time I will not be buying an Arsenal home shirt. I refuse to.
There you go. There you go. And there's a lot of fans like that, Jez. But do you know what, Jez, yeah? For every old school, proper Arsenal, grew up right opposite Highbury, yeah, lived and breathed the football club, seen the club through your granddad's eyes back in the Herbert Chapman days and all that. Yeah, for every one of you that Arsenal lose, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 1,000 that they've gained that will buy the merch. And that is why we move stadium. And do you know what? It's not a bad thing because we can go and do the Aubameyang money, the Pepe money. Yeah, we can give new contracts to Mesut Ozil and players like we can do all of that. So I get it, yeah. But at the same time, yeah, like it kind of, I don't know, it kind of just has made people just accept shit because it's just, I support Arsenal. I can't go every week. I don't go every week. Yeah, I ain't going everywhere. I ain't going next season. Yeah, I probably could get tickets, but I ain't going to. Yeah, Kenny, you'll be there every week. Jez ain't going. Chig won't be going.
Oh,
yeah?
Look, I'm going to go.
And this is the thing. It's like the people. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. And I want to win, but this is the problem. Yeah, the problem is fans like us are a dying breed because now it's not about the winning. It's about the taking part and the day out and
not for me.
Oh, I'm online on socials and I can tweet this about the club. And I'll get loads of traction and I can be positive all the time about everything the club does. But then when it's fashionable, I'll be negative about the owner. But then I'll still support the owner because I'll still pay for my online membership to watch the games, yeah, and watch the highlights. I'll still buy my merchandise and get it shipped and pay 60 quid to get it into Canada, yeah. And it's like, you know, the club know this, which is the whole reason we move stadiums. So you say it all the time, Kenny, the match day fan is an afterthought because you are literally in the 0.1% of our global fan base. Yeah. It don't matter if you don't go. They've survived without you and they're doing 80 million quid on 3 average footballers. And they've signed Smith Rowe to a new deal. Yeah. They've probably spent the best part of 100 million quid this summer. Yeah. They don't need fans at the ground. People will keep banging on about, I can't wait to go back to the ground. They don't necessarily need fans at the ground. Because they can survive without fans at the ground because fans at the ground are literally less than 0.1% of our global reach. Yeah. And that is where they make their money through marketing, US tour, which got cancelled, Australian tour, Singapore, new drops of merchandise every couple of weeks, bigging it up and making it, we took inspiration from the Marble Halls on the Freddy Krueger shirt. Yeah. Like Jez pointed out when that shirt dropped, the Marble Halls are not red and white, they're green and white. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But any average fucking person that don't know that, I genuinely didn't know that. I thought they were red and white. Yeah. But then when I thought about it, I was like, shit, when you're stood right in front of them, they are actually fucking green tint. Yeah. But they dressed it up as we took inspiration from the Marble Halls. Well, why weren't it fucking green and white then? But that's what they do. They play on the fact that the majority, which is 99.9%, will buy the merch, will buy the online memberships, buy the online membership for tickets, so that when they do come to the UK, if and when they can then get a ticket. They will go to the tours. They will pay over the odds to go and watch us in Singapore. They will go and fucking fund everything we do, and they will sit on social media doing Stan Kroenke's job for him. Yeah, just boosting him up. Whereas the 0.1% that go to games have the influence on whether a manager gets sacked, i.e. Arsene Wenger empty stadiums. Yeah. So you still have an influence, but the fact and reality is it needs to get stupidly fucking bad to get to that point where they sack somebody who's been here for 23 years. It took years to get him out. Yeah, and it's the same with this manager, because the majority, which they market to and know will lap it up, will back this manager regardless of whether we finish 15th, 16th. As long as we finish above relegation, everything's rosy in the garden, mate. And we ain't going to change that.
100%. Lee, one thing, I'll leave you with this. Can you imagine our fans do what the Man United fans did before Liverpool game this season?
Mate, you'd be told you're a fake fan. Yeah, disgusting. Yeah, no respect. Yeah, that's not classy, Arsenal. Yeah, Man United fans got the biggest game in the English football calendar cancelled just like that. Yeah, just like that. And guess what? Since then, they have signed fucking Jadon Sancho, and they're on the verge of signing Rafa Varane. Yeah? Worked, didn't it? We're sitting there going, oh, we've got La Conga. Let's all do the Conga. Yeah, who is he? Yeah, well, we're signing Ben White. Yeah, 52 million, mate. Nobody wanted him 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we're signing Tavares. Did anyone know who he was 3 weeks ago? They're signing Sancho for £1 million more than we pay for Pepe. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where we're at. Listen, I could rant on forever, but I'm not going to. I'm fucking sweating my bollocks off sat here. But big up to Kenny. What you got coming up, Kenny? I know you're here, there, and everywhere on boxing podcasts and all that. What you got coming up, man?
Well, because a big fight tomorrow. If anyone's just seen, it's on BT Sport. It's between Carlos Takam and Joe Joyce.
Carlos Takam, my guy. My man follows me.
Joe Joyce. Please give it a watch. You know, I know I've recommended a lot, but you know that's the main fight. And then afterwards, a week later, for the next 3 weeks, we've got Fight Camp. Although a lot of fans are pulling that. But if you want to, you know, see some great presentation of boxing, my jammer is a new presenter on DAZN. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, I think there'll be a few interested, mate. Trust me. But yeah, Kenny Ken 1972, Twitter and Insta. There's a link in the description. Follow him straight away. His Insta football commentary is lit, better than anyone in the mainstream media. Yeah, literally. It's not about and it's live. It's all about and it's Kenny Ken 1972. Chig, what you got coming up, man?
Mainly just the usual. So, covering a couple of transfer rumor stories. Doing a couple of couple of movie reviews are in there. So check out Chig Flicks, CHIFLIX, for the latest Chig Flicks review. I should do something tonight. Also, before I forget, you may have seen Ola in the chat room earlier.
Yeah, big up Ola.
My partner from another mother. We'll be doing a show, the combat show. We'll be covering that tonight at 9:30. So make sure you check that out as well. All right, that's
there you go. And me and Chig will be doing watch-alongs again next season. You heard it here first. That's all on. We're back on. I'm going to message you afterwards anyway. I need to speak to you, so I'll WhatsApp you afterwards. But Jez,
that sounds anonymous.
no, it's nothing. No, it's nothing like that. Jez Collins.Jez on Instagram. Link in description. Go and follow the original gangster in the chat from back in the day, and now a familiar face on the podcast. But Jez, what you got coming up, mate? What are you doing? Like, I know you're not doing podcasts and all that, but what are you doing for the rest of the weekend?
This weekend, I think we've got the grandson actually. So I'm probably going to take him fishing. He's 6. He's got big into fishing, and I used to do a lot of fishing. So I'm going to take him down the old river, just literally 300 yards away. We're going to catch a little fish.
There you go. Are you cooking it out for dinner afterwards, or?
No, they're only a bit about that big, mate.
Well, he is only 6.
I don't even get him pulled in.
No, that's quality, man. And yeah, big up to all three of you for coming on. Big up to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, sorry I was late as well. I don't know what happened there.
No, don't worry, man. Listen, it is what it is. Like, sometimes technical issues and all that. Like, I didn't even send Kenny Ken the link. That's why he was late.
I was thinking, angrily, that's the second time you've done that.
Yeah, it is. Do you know what it was? I was on with Rant, so I was rushing everything and setting it all up. Yeah. because I needed to make a phone call to my daughter's mum, and I was just like, oh, mate, like fucking hell, and I forgot to send you it. I thought I did send you it, but I didn't press send. So when I went back to Twitter DM, it was still sat there ready to send. But yeah, I will not be back tonight. I was going to do a stream on the other channel, but I'm not. I'm going to have a shower. As you can see, I'm sweating. It's 8 o'clock at night. I might actually go and have a couple of beers in town. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the vlog tomorrow night. I will be back with 3 uploads tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to More League Gunner, pinned to the top of the comments. Go and do that right now. And the results on the poll, who you taking right now, Tammy Abraham or Aubameyang?
Aubameyang's winning this.
73% Aubameyang. So yeah, 344 people voted. We'll end that poll. Listen, big up to everyone, man. I'll be back again tomorrow. Love to the panel. We're out of here. Arteta out as always. Laters.